Can't relate, straight talk going, safe not safe. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace, none in my league. You out of place, I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state.
What's going on, guys? Your host, your boy George Mackay, back, and I'm back with one of the OGs of Straight Talk Wrestling. We usually get together once a year. It's kind of like Nas and Dr. Dre. Whenever they release a song every 5 or 6 years, we get together for a little, you know, a little audio for your ears. Or if you're watching YouTube, you know, her face is definitely a lot better than mine. That's for sure, 100%. But please help me welcome one of the OGs, one of the founding members of Straight Talk Wrestling before your boy went on solo, the voice. Michelle
What
LaRusso.
is going on, everybody? It's a pleasure to be back. Yeah, round of applause. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back. Super excited to get this one.
Talk some Royal Rumble. So I don't really do prediction shows much anymore these days on Straight Talk. It's more so the conversations. That's kind of what me and the mini hosts have gravitated towards. But Royal Rumble is one of my favorite events of the, you know, wrestling season. You always want to look at now. Day one was great. I actually did watch day one. Tuned in. I enjoyed the pay-per-view for what it was. It was just entertainment. It was probably one of the better pay-per-views I've seen of WWE in a while because I haven't really watched a lot, but I was intrigued with some of the matchups in day one, so I enjoyed it. And now we've kind of got that streamroll right into Royal Rumble, which starts our road to WrestleMania season. This is always where things go. A lot of interesting matches. I don't think the whole card is out as we're recording this on the Tuesday before Royal Rumble, so there may be some matches that we're predicting that we don't know fully yet. Could be a match of the prediction show or something like that. I'm not sure, but we'll just get into what we know as of this moment right now.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
So one of the first matches we're going to talk about, we're going to lay out a lot of the title matches right off the hop. So one I want to talk about is, I'll say it because I know you won't say it. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief versus the drip god, Seth Rollins. As we were, you know, going through some of our notes before that, I asked her if she wanted to announce him as the drip god. The look I got was right out refusal to announce.
What is that though? Like, I give it to them, you know, they're trying to be young and fresh and hip.
They're trying to be hip. Yeah, they're trying to get the slang in there.
Of course. Yes. But like, it's so blasphemous.
It is. Name aside though, this matchup is intriguing because it is two heels. And we haven't seen two heels in a minute. It's been a while since we've seen two heels going for a major championship in the WWE, one of the heavyweight championships. So going for the Universal Championship, I mean, knowing the streak that Reigns has been on, the fact that he's held this championship for well over a year now, a year plus, I think he's pretty close or almost right up with CM Punk's original reign. Almost very close to that. I could be wrong, you know, fact checkers, marks beware. I could be wrong. But what's your thought process of seeing these two heels going at it, arguably the two top heels within the company right now?
I think it's going to be interesting just because they are two heels, which means there are a lot more variables out there, right? A heel is always going to play dirty. They have tricks up their sleeve. They could have someone come out and distract. So there's a lot that could happen within this match. And I'm kind of excited to see how it all unfolds and to see what these two can bring to us while they're in that ring.
I agree with you. I think and it's always weird because when a heel is facing a heel, and you mentioned those dirty tricks, it's not so much the dirty tricks that annoy you, it's who's going to top the other one.
Yes.
So my dirty trick was good, or yours was good, but mine will be better. And then I got one.
Yeah.
So
they got to one up each other.
Yes, there's a little bit of egos, but looking at these two, tit for tat, straight up the tail of the tape, who would you put your money on for this one?
Roman Reigns.
Yeah. So the tribal chief will retain.
Yes.
So what you have to say is you will acknowledge him.
Roman Reigns?
Yeah, you have to acknowledge him.
Yeah, of course, I'll acknowledge him.
I have to acknowledge him.
Yeah,
I mean,
you.
In the early, we talked about this in the early archives. If you go back through the archives of Straight Talk Wrestling when it was just audio only, and we hadn't figured out YouTube yet, we were just getting in the swing of the YouTube machine, if you will. We did an episode called Deconstructing Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And we recorded this years ago. Actually, one of the first, I want to say the Straight Talk Wrestling is now 5+ years old. So this episode was recorded in that first year.
Yes. Yeah.
And the interesting thing about this episode is that everything that has happened with Roman Reigns' character over this entire reign, I called. That's right. I called it back in the day. And I said, get the mic out of his hands, let somebody else speak for him, bring Paul Heyman in to do a new age kind of Brock Lesnar Heyman thing. I don't know what they're called. I actually think I said not so much to call him the tribal chief, but I did mention something to do with his Samoan heritage. And I also mentioned something about being the tribal warrior or something along the lines of that. I had mentioned that. I think I said Samoan warrior or something like that. I said, bring in the heritage, bring in the family, all that kind of stuff. The head of the table stuff, that was all genius. And I will say, this reign, what I have watched when I have tuned in, I have been thoroughly entertained.
Okay.
So my pick aligns with your pick, and I think Roman Reigns will retain and go a beeline straight to WrestleMania. As to who his opponent will be, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure in our predictions later on in this episode, when we get into that Men's Royal Rumble match, we're also going to talk a little bit about possible Forbidden Door entries that we would like to see. Dream people walk through the Forbidden Door. But I do want to talk quickly about the Forbidden Door, if I can, for a second. Everyone talks about Tony Khan being the one that opened the Forbidden Door. Okay. I will agree with that. As much as, again, you know, I could be a fan of AEW and not like the owner. I'm not a big fan of Tony Khan. Not so much what he's done for the business. He's done a lot, but his ego, I believe, will still be his own undoing. And that's just my own personal opinion. And I mean, obviously I enjoy the AEW product, as you can plainly see. What I will say, though, is that Impact is the one who has utilized the door to the best of its ability. They've worked with AEW, had AEW stars come over, a couple of their members, a small amount, not what I thought would be equal share, but a small amount, like Sami Callihan, for example, went over to AEW. We also got to see the Good Brothers be utilized very well in both organizations. And I'm a Good Brothers mark. I will say that to no end. They are the best tag team in the world, in my opinion. And that's why they should always have belts on them. Doesn't matter which company they work for, they should always be the champs. And that's because I'm a big Gallows and Anderson fan. I'm a mark. I don't care. I love those guys. I think they're entertaining as all shit, and they can wrestle. Now, they have worked with them. They have worked with ROH. They've had ROH roster members on their roster. And now, most recently, they have aligned themselves with WWE. And in, you know, not so much allowing or granting, but in somehow negotiating that olive branch between WWE brass and Mickie James, allowing the Impact Women's Champion to enter the Rumble. And again, not allowing, so maybe the wrong word I'm using, but somehow negotiating that and allowing Mickie James to walk through the door to represent Impact in WWE is huge. This is literally, there's a meme that goes around all the time about Scott D'Amore with Thanos' glove, and he's got like every organization that he's worked with. And there's tons. They've done so well in working with New Japan, working with ROH, bringing in all those ROH talents. They just, I mean, having Gresham defend the title at the last pay-per-view, which was an insanely great pay-per-view. We watched it. We enjoyed the hell out of it. Really, really good pay-per-view. So I want to, I got to, not even the devil. I got to give Scott D'Amore his due. Talk about a man who knows how to utilize the business and somehow turn Impact Wrestling into, I've always thought it was must-see TV, but now bringing so much other eyes to the product, what we faithful Impact fans know. And the fact that their roster kicks ass, they work their asses off, and they're one of the few companies out there that has really utilized the Forbidden Door to the best of its ability. So I did want to mention that. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, that meme is gold. That meme is gold.
I definitely agree. I mean, that's what I kind of envisioned for wrestling. You know what I mean? I understand, like, not everything's going to work out, but we do get that there are different companies. Why not have them, you know, kind of go toe to toe with each other every once in a while? I think it's kind of beautiful to see in a way. So I've really enjoyed all of the crossovers,
and to even have your stars take losses on your pay-per-view, which a lot of other egos in the wrestling business, there's that word of the day, egos, would not allow that. You wouldn't see, say, a Moose go over to AEW and get one over on Hangman Page. No way Tony Khan would allow that. But you would see a Kenny Omega come over and get over on Rich Swann, which, again, when you line those up tail to tape, it's the obvious choice. Rich Swann definitely having that underdog feel, even being the champion, having that underdog feel, going to the match, having a lot of great spots. But if Kenny Omega didn't come out on top in that match, people would have scratched their heads and been like, well, this is just a flop. And I mean, there's no way that would have happened. But realistically, a Moose over Kenny Omega or a Moose over Hangman Page, that's a realistic thing that I could see.
I could see that happening.
Again, I'm not speculating saying that that's happening, but I'm just saying it's an intriguing possibility. If egos would be put aside, the forbidden door could be utilized a little bit more.
Yes.
But there has been a lot of olive branches, a lot of exchanging of talent, and it's an exciting. So far, 2022 has been very interesting in the world of professional wrestling.
Yes, it has been.
Let's get into the next match.
Yes.
All right. I felt like I cut you off, and I
No.
I apologize. All right. The next match is the Almighty Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar's teeth. No, I didn't know Brock Lesnar had teeth, and he does. And I gotta say, the Canadian healthcare system is flawless because his teeth are phenomenal. Whoever his dentist is out there in Saskatchewan, bravo, sir, or madam. Bravo, sir, or madam. Because when that man smiles, I get why Sable is his wife.
Oh my God.
He lights up a room. When Brock Lesnar smiles, he lights up a room. But Mountain Man Brock Lesnar, and that's not his name, that's the name I'm giving him. The Mountain Man Brock Lesnar going against the Almighty Bobby Lashley. And Brock Lesnar is the face, not the heel. He's the face.
Interesting take.
And you have two mouthpieces involved in this as well, because you have MVP with Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
Who MVP can talk. He's always been a talker. Wrestling, I kind of was on the fence about him as a wrestler per se. I mean, I appreciated his ability, but I always found his promos to be fire.
Yes. And
him, the way he's cut stuff lately, especially from the Hurt Business, which I thought ended way too soon. My opinion, I thought that was one of the best factions going at the time, and they ended it way too soon. From then to now, being with the Almighty all this time, and then having Paul Heyman, back as Brock Lesnar's special counsel or conciliary, whatever the hell he is these days.
His counsel, his friend.
We'll get into that.
Maybe not a friend, but
we'll get into that somewhere down the line as well. We have some speculation on that as well. But you look at the tail of the tape. This is a dream match for fans. This has been a match that has been happening for a very long time, and they hinted to this in the early days of Lashley's return. But I don't think he was as over as he is now.
Okay, yeah.
So it kind of got squashed very early on, and I think it was like a Goldberg squashing. It was a very short, quick match where Lesnar just kind of dusted the Almighty. So they hinted to it a lot, and it ended up being Drew McIntyre that actually was the one to slay the beast, if you will.
Yes.
And kudos to Drew McIntyre, because he didn't get enough credit for being champion during a very trying time in professional sports and professional wrestling. To hold it down with no crowds, it was a great run. Shout out to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Shout out.
So he did well on that. But look at it at the tail of this tape.
Yes.
When you compare these two, I mean, tit for tat, these guys are equal. There's really not, when it comes to ability and in ring and how they handle themselves in the ring, they mirror each other so well.
Yeah.
So as a wrestling fan and being this one of those dream matches when you're with your friends and you're stoned out of your fucking gourd and you talk about dream matches in wrestling, this is one that always came up.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because they're both heavy hitters. They're both big boys. They're very
they can do that intimidating face.
Yeah.
They stand nose to nose.
Right?
Even in COVID times, they stand nose to nose. Good for them.
Fully vaccinated, hopefully.
Double shot. I just got my booster, 3 shots up.
See?
Not preaching to anybody. That was my own personal choice, but I'm 3 shots in and I'm feeling good.
To each his own.
That's it.
That's what I say.
100%.
But I think it's going to be just exciting, because a lot of us that have been watching this product have been watching it since Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar really came on, and we've been seeing just this build up now, and especially having them back, I think it's going to be a really heavy hitting match. I'm not sure if it's going to be a super long match just because of their stature and
the fact that both of them sweat profusely after about 2 minutes.
I think it's just going to be more about who can hit harder than anything.
So a lot of forearm shots.
Yeah. I really think it's gonna. I honestly think Brock Lesnar is gonna go in there and be like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy. I want to.
If you could, before you predict who you got to win, if you could predict a running time for this match, I mean, I'm going into Vegas odds right now. It's like the Super Bowl when you try to bet on the color of the Gatorade.
So I don't want to be preposterous with the amount of time.
It's a big word.
But I also college word. But I also I also don't want to undermine them, because they're both athletic. I want to say no more than 10 minutes. It can't be more than 10 minutes.
I concur. I see it 10,
maybe 12
with entrances. 12 with entrances. Bell to bell, though, I want to say in and around that 8 to 10 minute range, safely and comfortably.
Yeah.
We're also gonna have to hose that ring down. There's gonna be a lot of sweat. But so now, we predicted the running time, and I agree with your prediction.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna differ on this.
I think so.
I think we are. But who are you? Who you pulling for in this one? Who you putting your money on?
Brock Lesnar all day, every day. All day, every day.
I enjoy Mountain Man Brock Lesnar. I
Yeah.
enjoy it. He's smiling. He's happy to be there. He's hit the mark, and he's found a way to get over with fans finally being free. And you saw
Yes.
tidbits of this in his last run when he told Paul Heyman to get a steak and all that stuff from that last.
Yeah.
It was genius. It was
beautiful.
And I don't think Lesnar gets enough credit for how funny he actually is. And I want to say I've been happy in this return because he's been there a little bit more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you need. I think that's what got so many people frustrated with those other runs or reigns that he had. He was a part-time champion, but I feel like he's been there more frequently. And now this is since winning, this is his first real major defense. I don't want to say it's going to end. I want to say, okay, so I agree with you that Lesnar will retain.
Okay.
But I think he will retain with interference from either MVP or Paul Heyman.
Something's going to happen.
Now, let me explain about the MVP thing. I feel like MVP is going to get somehow distract Lashley to the point where Lashley screws up, and then we will eventually see the final undoing, the nail in the coffin of Lashley kind of turning full out on MVP and kind of walking away to just be Lone Wolf, Bobby Lashley. I'm not saying they're going to change his name to Lone Wolf, but he'll just be on his own. I don't want everybody thinking and being like, oh, Straight Talk Wrestling says Bobby Lashley's gimmicks change. No, I didn't state that. I'm just saying he's going to walk away from MVP and just go on his own.
You know what? I can't see that happen because I will say in the past, we have seen Bobby Lashley trip over his own feet. And we have seen that happen in the past. So, I mean, kudos to you, man. I'm aligning. The stars are aligning with that.
Now, there's also another theory that's been thrown around.
All right.
And we actually discussed a little bit of this before we recorded. Paul Heyman, where his allegiances and his loyalties lie.
Yes.
If you watch last week's Friday Night SmackDown, he sounded like it was a rough breakup. We're talking like 3 or 4 quarts of ice cream. Had a rough go. I want to say that Paul Heyman's breakup ice cream of choice is probably like mint chocolate chip, or like, would you say cookie dough?
I was gonna say chocolate chip cookie dough.
Chocolate chip. Okay, fair enough. Chocolate chip cookie dough. That's a tongue twister too when you're not prepared to say it like that. If you go back in like 3 seconds before that, I went chocolate chip. So yeah, chocolate chip cookie dough.
It's okay. You have kids. It's chocolate chip.
Yeah, that's right. I have a 5-year-old that still, speaks a little bit of that baby language. So, yeah, but I feel like Paul Heyman's alliances or allegiances are going to be into question in this match. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I think he's still very much aligned with the head of the table, even though Reigns attacked him. It wouldn't be the first time that Paul Heyman's kind of thrown his body on the line to show his allegiances
for the greater good,
the greater good of the business. Remember, with Paul Heyman, it's always about the business. It's not so much about who his allegiances are. Paul Heyman aligns himself with whoever gets him the most camera time. That's the way I look at Paul Heyman. And I'm a Paul Heyman guy. I love Paul Heyman through and through. Great mind for the business. Some of his creative and writing may be a little bit, but for the most part, Paul Heyman for me is like an OG. Yeah. And he's a Hall of Fame bound for sure in his creative ability.
For sure.
But I feel like his allegiances are going to come into question. And I almost feel like somehow Reigns or other members of the table, if you will, the bloodline, they are going to get involved in this match some way, shape, or form, therefore making Lesnar drop the title, therefore somehow working Lesnar into a possible triple threat, or whoever the winner of the Rumble may be will go on to challenge Bobby Lashley, therefore leaving Roman Reigns without a opponent, if you will. Because no matter who wins, I feel like they're going to be going to challenge whoever wins Lesnar and Lashley, which I feel will be Lashley only because of the simple fact it's the only way to get the build to Lesnar versus Reigns. Now, there is another theory. The other theory is that Lesnar would retain. Whoever wins the Rumble will go on to challenge him. Therefore, leaving Roman Reigns without an opponent, and The Rock coming back to have that kind of who is the actual head of the table. Now with The Rock's schedule these days and the fact that he's literally got his hand in everything from lending his voice to multiple movies, to the tequila company, to the amounts of movies that he's doing, plus promotions, plus all the stuff that he's doing. I just don't know if The Rock has enough schedule to allow a run in WWE right now, whether it be part-time or full-time, but that is another possible theory. So out of listing all the theories that we've discussed, which theory would you say would be the most plausible? Now that I have listed that, even though you put your money on Lesnar, have I swayed you?
No.
Okay, so Lesnar still too.
But the main takeaway I've taken from all those theories is that Roman Reigns is going to be left without an opponent. That's the most likely outcome out of all those scenarios. So that is an interesting takeaway.
That is a very interesting takeaway, and we'll get into a little bit more of that as we get later on the matches. Next match we got is for the Raw Women's Championship, and this is Becky Lynch. You thought I was gonna say, I'm not gonna say it. Becky Lynch versus Dewdrop.
Okay.
Now Dewdrop burst on a scene a little bit a while ago. She was great at Any Talent before. Again, I'm not a big fan of the name Dewdrop, but that is her character's name and gimmick, and she's working it well. And this is a very David versus Goliath. Now, remember, she beat Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair in a triple threat to secure her #1 contendership. And I got to give Liv Morgan credit, because I watched that match at day one, and I thought Liv Morgan did really well. She told a really good story. She hit all her spots. I thought that match was great. And I thought, obviously, again, mind you, who she was in there with, Becky Lynch is an A caliber performer. So Becky Lynch definitely, when you're in there with greatness, it tends to rub off. And I thought that Liv Morgan had a great showing. And I felt that the run was good. If they had given her the title, I felt it might have been too soon. I think Liv Morgan still needs to, she had her kind of moment to shine a few months ago, and they didn't capitalize on it then. So I felt at that point, when they did day one, if she had won, I felt it would have sucked the air out of the building.
Okay.
I don't feel like it would have been a great run. People would have been happy, excited, but I feel like they would have got tired of it rather quickly, in my opinion. In my opinion. But looking at this match, looking at the tail of the tape, I mean, you got Becky Lynch, arguably one of the greatest faces in modern women's wrestling, but also one of the greatest heels. Not the greatest heel, though. I will give it up to Britt Baker, DMD. I mean, that chick's lights out when it comes to being a heel. She's top of her game. She's had a year that some people in life only dream about, from professional sports to acting to whatever. She has had that year where everything she touched literally turned to gold. She also put Nick Cannon in her hold on his talk show, which was amazing. Great. It was amazing to see Nick Cannon crying in pain was glorious, absolutely glorious. But I do love Nick Cannon. Love Nick Cannon, and definitely wilding out for sure. Definitely great show. But looking at this, the tail of the tape. This is a David versus Goliath, where the person who you might consider to be Goliath is actually the David, just based on size and stature. Dewdrop being the more powerhouse of the two. Not taking anything away from Becky Lynch, but just looking at size and stature, Dewdrop has her, and Dewdrop's got a vicious streak. Don't let her fool you. She's happy to be there, but she'll also crack your fucking head open.
Don't let the name fool you, right?
Exactly.
Dewdrop sounds nice and sweet, small,
but she'll
I'll rock your world, 100%. Man. Jeez.
So when you look at the tail of the tape on this one, who do you pick?
I don't know. Just with the David and Goliath, like I want to go with Becky Lynch, but I mean, as a newcomer with Dewdrop, her rise already and facing somebody like Becky Lynch at pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble, which
also
is a
going
huge
at
one.
Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan,
and Bianca Belair,
and coming out on top.
I think she's one hell of an athlete. So, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna go with my girl Dewdrop.
Dewdrop for the win.
Dewdrop.
I respectfully disagree with you.
Okay.
Becky Lynch is just too good at being who she is right now in the game. And the fact that we had that swerve at SummerSlam, and a lot of people very upset about all that. No matter, without a doubt, Becky Lynch, I think, is going to streamline this right to WrestleMania. I do feel she will lose it at WrestleMania. I just don't know who, but I do have some ideas when we get to the women's the women's Royal Rumble. But you know what? I think it could go either way. All I know is that this match it'll probably be very entertaining, and a lot of people might not expect it to be as entertaining as they think it will end up being. But I think that this match will be definitely one to enjoy.
I think so too.
It won't be a popcorn or a smoke break or a bathroom match. I think it'll be one to enjoy. The bathroom match is coming a little bit later in the predictions. 100%. Okay, now we have the bathroom match. This is the bathroom match, my opinion. We have the Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix.
The Viking,
WrestleMania from like 3 years ago. Anybody? Nobody will be getting engaged after this one to promptly end their engagement.
No,
it won't be happening.
No. They're already married. These two.
John Cena's wife or John Cena's girlfriend now, or wife now, sorry, the Canadian girl, she is gorgeous.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
So John Cena, well done. And also your HBO show is phenomenal. Just gonna say, just do James Gunn movies because you're really good in them. Don't ever do Fast and Furious ever again. You've ruined the franchise for me. Very much so. Very much so. But please just do James Gunn movies always and forever. You and Idris Elba have so much great chemistry. The new Suicide Squad was phenomenal. I loved it. I loved it better than the original. 100%. James Gunn can do no wrong in my eyes. He turns people who can't act into actors. Into actors. And I'm talking about John Cena. Anyways, back to the moment at hand. So the Miz and Maurice versus John Cena and Nikki Bella. Oh, sorry, Edge and Beth Phoenix. Yes. We've seen this story. We've seen this story done great from Miz and Maurice in terms of their vignettes leading up to the Rumble match when they were mimicking them. It was
perfect. Those were amazing.
They were very entertaining. Very entertaining. But Edge and Beth Phoenix, it almost seems like whenever Miz is in a storyline with like a legend, they tend to not allow him to go one-on-one with the legend. It's like they have no faith in the Miz, so they bring in the wives or the girlfriends or whatever, the actual kayfabe couples. They bring them into the fold, and I almost feel like that undermines the ability of Miz. I've been a Miz guy from day one. I still have the Chick Magnet shirt upstairs. It definitely does not fit now, but it used to once upon a time, and I still have it, and I still rock it. I also have that I'm awesome shirt.
Oh yes, the I'm awesome.
He's only ever had 2 shirts, and I own both of them. I'm not saying I was the only one to buy them, but I own both of them. I probably might have been the only one to buy them. I'm not sure, but I've always been a Miz guy. From when he was just the MC from the Total Divas tournament.
Yes. Oh my God.
And he fucked up huge, and everybody was like, "Oh, you fucked up." It was great moments, great memories. Man. But the Miz is a guy that wasn't supposed to be here, wasn't supposed to have the longevity in his career that he did. We all remember Angry Miz Girl. I mean, great stuff. And I think that the Miz, it sucks that he only got his second title reign for like a day and then lost it to Lashley.
So sad.
But still, nonetheless, even being a transitional champion, still great. And the fact that instead of actually giving this guy a legitimate run to see what he can do with it now, being more mature and growing more in the business, they're just kind of, I mean, they're giving him a lot of camera time, and the Miz is a company man, so he will do what the company asks without,
that's for sure,
without a problem.
Yeah.
But I feel like this story was done already.
Yeah.
It won't end with an engagement in the middle of the ring, but I almost feel like this story's been done, and it's been done to death. Now, mind you, Edge has done some really great stuff with bringing back some of the Brood stuff, and that's been fun. That's been entertaining. But I still feel like this one is going to hit below the belt in expectation. But I am a Miz guy through and through, so I will give my predictions first on this one, then I will ask you. When you align these two up, don't get me wrong, Edge and Beth Phoenix, you can list their accolades all day long. When it comes down to who has the ability in this match, yes, it goes to Edge and Beth Phoenix without a doubt. But you can't take away Maurice and you can't take away Miz. No, they also have accolades themselves as well. Maurice was a champion at a time when women weren't taken seriously.
No, hands down. Yep.
And she rocked that Divas Championship to the best of her ability. I believe it was 2 title reigns. I mean, again, fact checkers beware. I could be wrong. Oh my God, calm down. But I want to say that I'm going to give this one to Miz and Maurice just for the simple fact that I am a Miz guy. And I'm thinking with my heart on this one, not my head. My head says Edge and Beth Phoenix because that's what everybody wants. But my heart, I am a Miz guy because why? I'm awesome.
Oh, I was going to say he's awesome.
I'm awesome for being a fan.
You are awesome.
Remember, I've been a fan of a lot of people.
Yeah.
That no one ever appreciated.
Yeah.
I was a fan of the bar.
Horses. Yeah. Oh my God, the bar.
I was a fan of the bar before the bar got over.
Oh,
I was the one who was like, they set the bar. I love that shit. But then all of a sudden,
set the bar.
All of a sudden, Cesaro breaks his teeth, and everybody's like, these guys rock.
Okay, because that moment, I will never, ever, ever in my life forget watching that happen. I will never forget watching that happen. And the way
but the man did his job.
Carried on. Yeah, that was so fucking impressive. Like who anywhere is going to knock their teeth up, not out, up into their gums and carry on with their job, what they're doing. I don't know anybody else.
One half the bar.
Yeah.
That's who.
That's what I'm saying. It was so phenomenal that everybody was like, I have to support these guys. Like I have to. Who can't support
But all I'm saying is that the Dark Horse King has been there from day one. I appreciated those guys when they were just getting started and nobody cared. Nobody cared. But I was like, I like these guys. I knew it was going to happen because if you remember when Mick Foley put them together in that best of 7 series, I said to both of you, this will end with them getting a tag team title shot. And you looked at me like I had 2 heads because you had no idea what I was talking about. And I clearly go back through the archives. You can hear the episode. I clearly stated that whoever won the best of 7 series was going to get a title shot.
Yeah.
But they're both going to get a title shot. And it's going to be the tag team titles. And I was right. And I called it. And it was a great run. And it sucks that they broke up because I enjoyed them. And I was right about those guys. I was right about The Miz. I've been right about Roman Reigns. I've been right about a lot of shit.
A lot of shit, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of shit. Yeah. Not Mountain Man Brock Lesnar. That was a great surprise. That was a nice swerve. And he is happy to be there, ladies and gentlemen.
Got him.
He's happy to be there. That's right. But so again, Miz guy, I think with my heart. So I'm going for The Miz in this.
Oh, man.
Where are you going with the typical answer, or are you gonna follow my heart?
I'm gonna follow your heart. I'm gonna follow your heart, George, because we all know that Edge and Beth Phoenix have incredible ability, like separately on their own, and then like together, absolutely. But I'm also all in with the villains. So that's my reasoning. Like I'm a villain kind of chick.
I like it.
I like
I like it. So you're going Miz and Maurice?
Yeah, let's go.
I love it. Miz and Maurice for the win.
Yeah.
Probably
a low blow, and then
Yeah. Or Maurice maybe gets a Beth Phoenix base. Beth Phoenix maybe pushes her. Maybe there's a little tussle outside.
Like, there's gonna be something.
The distraction will cause Miz to get the skull crushing finale on the rated R superstar. Or sorry, is he rated PG now? The rated PG superstar, Edge. You can't be rated R. It's not. It's PG era.
Is it PG or PG? Would it be PG-13?
It's not a thing. I think that's like AA now.
Oh. Okay.
He's definitely not
PG.
He's definitely not NC-17.
No.
No.
We know our movie ratings, guys.
Employees at Cineplex don't. I've experienced that, but I do. All right. Let's get into the men's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Or actually, you know what we should get into? We should talk about the Raw Tag Team Championship.
Okay. We're getting to that
match.
first.
So that's going to be American Alpha.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Or Alpha American. I don't know. It's Chad Gable and Otis. Okay. Chad Gable and Otis. And they're going at RK Bro, who was the former champions.
Yes. Okay.
But they are no longer the champions.
Okay.
This is a typical thrown together tag team, much like the Bar, that had great success. Everyone loved them. You know, Randy Orton as a face with his, porn star stash. Matt Riddle.
I've never seen that.
Randy Orton porn star stash?
Yeah.
Oh, no?
No.
Okay,
sorry, I haven't watched it in a while.
Haven't watched it in a minute. I kind of threw her into this one.
I haven't watched it in a while.
But I educated her. I think she's done pretty well. I've educated. But she also is she's a great wrestling fan, and she has enough knowledge to get by on the fly.
Hey.
So I'll show you Randy Orton's porn stash after.
It must be beautiful.
No, it's electric. It's electric. Electric. That's right.
Let's continue because I got to see this.
Absolutely. So it's RK Bro versus American Alpha. Or God, you know what? Fuck. Where's my notes? What's their fucking names here? Here we go.
Where's the
Alpha Academy?
Alpha Academy.
Oh my God, he screwed up the name again. The Marks.
Oh man. Call the police, guys. Call the police.
It's gonna happen. So Alpha Academy,
yes.
The reigning defending tag team champions going at RK Bro, who were the former champions.
Yes. Now
this is, like I said, a typical thrown together tag team. And this always leads to a fallout. The barbershop fallout, Shawn Michaels pushing Marty Jannetty through the window. Yes. We all know how it ends. RK Bro will implode, and their reign as in the tag team division will be over, therefore setting up a straight shot of Randy Orton versus Matt Riddle. I don't know how far the storyline will go, but it'll go. Now, here's my prediction. So my prediction obviously is that Alpha Academy will retain.
Okay.
Therefore causing the implosion. Matt Riddle will turn on Randy Orton.
Okay.
And for the first time ever in a long while, we'll see Orton continue as a face, not go the typical route. And we're going to get heel Matt Riddle. And the reason I say that is because Riddle is so over and everyone loves a smiling, happy.
And his whole you're my bro. Yeah.
Everybody loves it. Yeah. The fans love it. So I think WWE, they do like to throw out those random swerves, curveballs every once in a while. I think this is a great moment to do that. And I feel like we're going to get to see heel Matt Riddle, which we have not seen yet. I believe he did have a couple indie runs where he did do heel Matt Riddle, and it was actually entertaining as fuck. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, please, I apologize. But I feel heel Matt Riddle will come out, and I feel like Randy Orton will stay face. What's your thought process?
You know, I actually really like that. And I like that because it's different, right? Like we know Randy Orton can be a heel and everybody loves him as a heel. He's a very, like, he pulls off those sneaky, yeah, man, like, come on, it's glorious. But to see somebody like Matt Riddle be a heel, I think that would be very, very cool, because we all know that as much as somebody can be very chill, everybody has a point, everybody has a line, and once they reach that line, like, let's see what the bro's got.
Everyone's got a breaking
see
point.
His feet in Randy Orton's face. Like, let's go. Is he wearing shoes now, or is he still?
No, he still wears the flip flops and he still kicks them off.
I love when he kicks them off. I think that's the coolest thing in the world.
I wonder how many pairs of flip flops he's lost though. Do you think it's
night.
like it's gonna be like that? Somebody tweeted this awesome tweet a couple months ago, and it still recycles every now and again. How much money did The Rock spend on elbow pads for all those times he threw them in the audience? Or how many elbow pads did The Rock throw in the audience?
An obscene amount.
And The Rock actually retweeted it was like too many to count.
Yeah, man.
Like,
yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna be like 20 years from now, some young startup podcast is gonna be like, I wonder how many shoes Matt Riddle lost, how many flip flops he
wish
lost.
I could catch one of them and then I would have him sign one. Like, ideally, you know, that'd be sick.
Bro.
Be like, bro.
If you could catch
Matt
both,
Riddle.
then you could sign one bro and one Matt Riddle.
Oh, that would be
Or
sick.
bro Matt and then Riddle on the other one.
Oh, and frame those bad boys.
That's right. Put them up right up there and just put
Sick.
bro.
Bro. With like 3 O's.
That's right. You really gotta stretch.
You gotta get it out.
So you're thinking your wavelength is with my wavelength.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I'm right. Let's see if what we get this Saturday is exactly that. I'm hoping it's heel, but
right.
Long story short, we've gotten through all the singles matches. Now we're elevated.
Okay.
Now we're getting into the thick of things.
Yes, the nitty gritty.
And again, this is just our predictions. We're not saying this is the way the program is going to run, but this is our predictions.
Yeah.
So
we don't know
I don't know the
match
order.
is going to come.
And again, there may be some matches that still get added on, but this is the most current recent match card that I could find. So this is what I'm going with. Now, the men's Royal Rumble. So we already know some participants. We know that Johnny Knoxville was number 1. Well, the first person to announce that he's going to be in the Rumble. Good luck to Johnny Knoxville. Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking.
Godspeed.
I would never want to step in the ring with 29 other guys that I know could beat the living shit out of me. I stay in my lane. I talk about them. I give my thoughts and opinions, but I stay in my lane. But again, I'm always appreciative of anybody that steps through those ropes. So good luck to Johnny Knoxville. All the best. Now, my boy, Kevin Owens, Big E, former champion, AJ Styles, former champion, Damian Priest, he's rocked gold in the past, not heavyweight gold, but he has rocked gold. Sami Zayn, he's rocked gold. Kofi Kingston, another former heavyweight champion. Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss. We'll just scroll on. Sheamus, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, and Austin Theory. These are some of the participants that have been announced so far. Still leaving room for quite a bit of surprises. Now, we know we always get at Royal Rumble. We always get a legend return. I'm not sure whom the legend might be returning, but there are a lot of guys that can still go or even go out for a spot or two. I want to say, again, thinking with my heart, I want to say you might see maybe Triple H return, just for the simple fact that he has been away dealing with the cardiac stuff. I don't know he's been medically cleared. And also it'll be a nice break for him to think about how bad NXT's been destroyed in certain aspects since he's no longer been involved in the process. But I mean, that's again thing with my heart. That's just a dream for me. It would just be to hear time to play the game. Like I would geek out hardcore. Should we talk about possible men from the Forbidden Door that may walk through? Yes.
You know what? Royal Rumble is such a special pay-per-view for that reason, because you never know. And like
they always actually do a really good job of keeping things very quiet, even from the talent in the back. Sometimes a lot of talent in the back
don't know what's going on, and they're like, what?
Like when AJ Styles music hit, nobody knew he was there. Nobody knew he was there. So those are great swerves that they have done. So looking at the Forbidden Door, looking at ROH recent hiatus, and looking at, there was definitely a couple of ROH guys that I know WWE did have their eye on. I'm going to just throw something again with my heart. I'm a big Shane Taylor promotion, STP, Shane Taylor Promotions. I want to see Shane Taylor in the Rumble, not to join the WWE, but I want to see him in a runoff in the Rumble. I want to see how he maneuvers with a lot of those other talents. Again, he's faced a lot of those guys on the indies, and some of them when they were coming up through ROH, he faced them as well. But I feel like Shane Taylor brings something special to the table. He's got so many layers to him as a performer, And I would enjoy seeing Shane Taylor in the Rumble for sure. But that's just my thoughts. If we're talking ROH, if we're talking Impact, of course, we have to talk Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander.
Of course.
I would love to see the Walking Weapon walk through the Forbidden Door, even for a little bit, and tangle with some of those guys that he's not been able to, I guess, get his hands on. I'm not going to say it's going to be, an overwhelming run. I wouldn't mind seeing, they're bringing over the women's champion. Why not have Moose walk through the curtain? The possibilities are really endless, but those are three I can think of off the top of my head. If I was going to think about anybody else, it'd be difficult too, because Michael Bennett, Maria Kanellis just being back there, knowing the bad blood that happened there. I don't really see them returning. Again, PCO, it would be nice, but I don't know if I see him returning. I know they didn't there was no parting of bad terms.
I don't think so.
But I just don't know if PCO's going to want to entertain that.
No.
And it would be more for their benefit, not his.
Yeah.
PCO is great. I've got a broken table with a signature right there behind me. So, I would love to see PCO, but I don't think so. But looking at the Impact roster, even looking at possibilities of AEW, I don't want to get too many marks freaking out. There have been whispers or rumors of Le Champion coming through, Chris Jericho. Now, mind you, he did have an appearance on the Stone Cold Steve Austin show on the network. While he's been under contract with AEW. So they allowed that still to happen. And I know that there has been conversations with former WWE talent being used for documentaries for the network. So there is communication between AEW and WWE. I just don't know how far it stretches.
Yeah, like what the boundaries are, right? Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We're going to get into some definite picks for the women's Rumble, though, because there are some interesting concepts there for sure. And a legacy pick that I'm going to throw out that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. But what would you want to say, looking at the roster as it stands right now? I'd even want to say Sami Callihan, I know for sure is not going to be there. He had an NXT run that he did not want to even be a part of. Very quickly left there. Also, again, Madman Fulton, he had a short-lived run as one of the early members of Sanity. I don't see Eric Young going back, considering the bad blood that's there. Really, I want to say that Josh Alexander, Moose, and who's the other one I mentioned? Oh my God, I forgot.
Short-term memory loss.
Short-term memory loss, bro. Well, actually, no, I said Josh Alexander and Moose. Yeah, so those two guys for sure.
I'm not sure if you said someone else, but
I said Shane Taylor from ROH.
Yes.
So Impact only, though. I said thank you. Not short-term memory loss. But those would be three names that I would like to see. Also, if we're going to throw at anybody from New Japan, the possibilities are endless. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to see the crown jewel Chase Owens fly through. That would be crazy. I just don't know how any of that would work, but that would just be a dream off the top of my head. But looking at all the ROH roster, looking at the Impact roster, any thoughts or opinions on who you might want to see is, again, we still have so many more entries that we could get. We know we're going to see a returning legend as well.
For sure. And I think we might get a few returning legends, depending on which legends and who is like physically capable.
The conditioning, for sure.
Of course. Because let's be real, these guys have put their bodies through a lot, especially a lot of the older guys too.
And not just in the ring, outside the ring too.
Yeah, Jesus.
Watch 350 Days, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
But I don't know. I kind of want to leave that prediction alone, just because I don't want to spoil anything for myself. I think the Royal Rumble has to be one of my favorite matches, just for the surprise of it all. It's like Christmas. You don't know, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
I like that. Forrest Gump
references.
I like it.
So
thank God you didn't say bubblegum shrimp or something like that, because that would have been weird. It wouldn't have flowed. I want to throw one more possible prediction, and this is actually a WWE producer that I had on the show. And this guy is, I'm a huge fan of this man, both what he produces for the talent now, but also what he brought to the table in his in-ring career. And that's Tyson Kidd. We talked a lot about in our conversation about a possible return. He did say that he would, if he was going to return, it would definitely be a Rumble. He just didn't speculate which Rumble it would be. But I know they're doing a lot of great things with Edge, Daniel Bryan. They're proving putting that you can come back from an injury. Medical science moves forward every couple of months, days, sometimes hours, very quickly. So that's, for me, that would be a dream. I would geek out hard. A big fan of Tyson Kidd and everything he's done in the ring. So it would not be surprising to see Tyson Kidd walk through the curtain. It would be a surprise, but I just don't know what's going to happen yet. But I know that he does. You never lose that itch.
No.
You never lose it. It's
And
like
I
a
think
hockey player
especially
or a
when he's
basketball
so
player.
close to it
Yeah,
too,
and
right?
being around
Like,
it all day, every day.
Yeah.
And what he's done for the women's division is nothing short of.
Yes.
And every time you see like a great caliber match, there's always that meme of like him like this being like, this match was produced by Tyson Kidd. Thank this man.
With that cute little smile. Oh.
So Tyson Kidd, here's hoping. I would love to see that. But
Yeah.
I mean, would you say those picks are solid?
Yeah, those are solid picks. Those are solid picks.
All right. Now that we don't know the full out, but we do know a lot of the big names.
Yes.
I'm going to put together a final four for you.
Okay.
And you're going to let me know your pick, and then I'll let you know mine.
Okay.
So here's my final four. Big E, for obvious reasons.
Okay.
Kevin Owens, again, for obvious reasons.
Okay.
Austin Theory. Why? Camera time with Vince McMahon. If you get camera time or work any kind of an angle with a McMahon at any time, usually you're in for a solid run.
Yes.
And I want to say my fourth one, not so much a dark horse, but not one everyone would expect, Johnny Knoxville. No, I'm joking. Completely joking. Not Johnny
I thought he was going to take the whole thing.
No, I want to say, actually, this may surprise a lot of people, but I want to say Sheamus. There's just something about Sheamus is that even when I don't like him, I still appreciate his in-ring ability. Sheamus can still go. I think he's due for another run. It's been a very long time. I wouldn't mind seeing him main event again because I think Sheamus is so great. A little bit lacking on the mic, but he makes up for more than that in the ring.
Yeah.
But that's who I would throw out there right there. Again, an honorable mention, I would say Cesaro as well, just because I think the Swiss Superman needs a fucking do. He had a little taste of it with Seth Rollins. I want more of that. So that's just my thoughts.
Given those four plus
my fifth one was just throwing it out there. Yeah. My half.
Your half.
And again, he has not been announced. I just double checked what has been listed. Cesaro has not been announced. I think he's still maybe out with an injury. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
But Royal Rumble is also time of return.
Yes.
So I'm just going to throw that out there as well.
Yeah.
That's true. Looking at my final four, forget Cesaro. Take Cesaro off the plate. But looking at Sheamus, Austin Theory, Big E, and Kevin
Owens. Oh man. Okay. Honestly, given time, and it wasn't just any McMahon, it's Vince. It's
true.
So I gotta give it to Austin Theory. I think yeah, like, cat's out of the bag, but that could have also been a swerve.
Always, you always got to expect the unexpected with WWE. Even though there's a lot of predictability, you always have to. But I want to present another theory.
Okay,
I'm the king of theory.
Hey, okay.
If Austin Theory wins,
yes,
who would he face? Just off the top of your head right now, without even thinking, who would be a better opponent to have a better match? Let's say it's the current champions as they are. So Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, okay.
Who would he face? No thinking, too long. Just
Roman Reigns, because Brock Lesnar is like in with Vince.
Right.
I was gonna be very vulgar, but this is a family show.
No, it's not. Straight talk wrestling, man. It's not a family show. I love it when I have conversations with wrestlers. They're like, "Can I swear?" Fuck yeah, do your thing. It is what it is. The theory I want to present is this.
Okay.
I want to say the champions stay as they are.
Okay.
And I want to say The Rock comes back.
Okay.
To go at Roman Reigns. I'm going to go with that theory for a second.
Okay.
Now, somebody was screwed out of their original Universal title reign very early on by Brock Lesnar. And that man was Kevin Owens. He was beaten rather quickly. So my theory is this. Am I making the hair in the back of your neck stand up? My theory is this. Kevin Owens just resigned. He is one of the best talents that they have over there. And he is also a genuine sweetheart. He's amazing in every aspect. Me and my daughter met him. He's a sweetheart. He spent like 5 minutes with my daughter, talked to her. She made him a bracelet. He wore like the whole SummerSlam weekend that they came to Toronto.
That's so sweet.
2019. So I want to say Kevin Owens wins, goes on to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, finally getting a chance to main event, finally getting a chance to go and get vindication against Brock Lesnar. I don't know how that'll play out, but that's what my heart says. I always go for Kevin Owens in a lot of Rumbles, and he always has a decent showing. Not a great showing, but a decent showing.
Yeah.
But I think this is his time to shine, especially the simple fact that he resigned. And he resigned for obvious reasons. His family's comfortable. He didn't want to uproot anybody. He resigned for obvious reasons. But I think you keep a guy like that down for too long, eventually come up the next contract renewal. He is still relatively young. He can still go another run or two. I feel like Kevin Owens is the
He's
best.
He's going to make certain demands. Yeah, no, that all makes sense. And you know what? I hadn't thought about that in a long time. And that would be beautiful because sometimes WWE has a roundabout way of putting that nice little bow on everything.
Yeah, like it's this story we kind of left you hanging. So let's finish it. Let's go.
Here's the other bunny ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the tree around grandmother's house. Yeah.
So
that's my theory.
That's a good theory.
That's my theory.
That's a really
I don't know if it's
one.
going to play out, but that's my theory. And now on to the Women's Rumble, which has a lot of interesting speculation this year.
Yes.
Charlotte Flair is the current reigning defending SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yes. Okay.
Charlotte Flair has entered the Rumble as a champion.
Yes.
Because if she wins, she gets to pick her opponent for WrestleMania. And it will most likely be a squash match.
Obviously.
It'll be the easiest opponent ever that Cher can beat.
Yeah.
Let that soak in for a second. Cher.
Yeah, Cher.
She looks like Cher. With all the plastic surgery that's been done, do you believe she looks like Cher? Yes, I do. I do.
I love Cher, though.
But you don't love Charlotte Flair. We all remember the Twitter war. Go back to the archives, listen to that.
Dude, that was like the best thing ever. I'm pretty sure she's like blocked me or something.
Probably. No doubt. No doubt.
But that was the best thing, highlight of my life thus far, I will say.
No, I do love Charlotte Flair. I think she's a great talent. So obviously the competitors that we know of so far.
Yes.
Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Nikki, ASH, Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, who gives a fuck? Carmella, Queen Zelina, Lita, Michelle McCool, Kelly, Dana Brooke, Natalya, Mickie James, Impact reigning defending women's champion, knockout champion, Tamina, Shayna Baszler, Summer Rae, Aaliyah, Shotzi Blackheart. Or sorry, just Shotzi.
Just Shotzi.
So great amount of talent, and they've definitely been bigging up Lita.
Yes.
Going at Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
Now, before we get into our predictions and who we think may return, Lita is already a legend that's returning. Mickie James, another legend, returning with a strap from a different company. Question: will Mickie James make her entrance with the Knockout Championship around her waist?
On one hand, it's almost like a ballsy move, but on the other hand, it's not, because it's not like people don't know she's wrestling somewhere else. People don't know she's a champion. I mean, if you are watching these other products, then obviously you know. If you don't, I'm sure it's been advertised somewhere now that it's leading up to the Rumble or whatever. So I hope she does. I hope she does, just because she should be proud of where she is, everything she's accomplished, and like, shit, man. Like I would wear that and I would be like, yep, this is who I am. This is what I'm representing. And I'm still here. And I'm still going to throw some of these bitches out this ring.
I like it. I like it a lot. A couple of the women that I see coming over from Impact side stuff. Not Maria Kanellis. I don't think. No. Again, a lot of bad blood there for sure. 100%. And understandably why. No doubt about that. Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh,
I see her coming over as the ROH, because she now is the ROH champion.
Yes,
I see her coming over with the, I don't know if she's going to come over with the ROH strap, because I think that would be a little redundant if you start bringing over champ and they're all wearing the belts, but that would be nice, but I think so. And I want to throw out two other possibilities.
Okay.
One is a legacy.
Oh, okay.
One is a daughter of a Canadian national treasure.
Oh.
Somebody who started one of our favorite facilities to go watch wrestling. Okay. A young lady who spent a lot of time stateside recently.
Yeah.
She appeared on NWA Empower. A lot of time in Orlando, Florida. Now, obviously, I believe she has family over there.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, we know her.
Yeah.
As Bianca Corelli.
Yes.
What her new name and gimmick will be, I don't know. But she spent a lot of time in Orlando.
Yeah.
She is by far one of the best, youngest indie unsigned talents that is out there right now. And I feel like she could really make some waves in that Rumble. She did very well at the Empower event. She had a couple great spots, and then unfortunately she was out.
Yeah.
She had a couple great spots. So I want to say Bianca Corelli's going to show up in the Rumble.
Okay.
And then we'll eventually be making her NXT debut. But I feel like a great way to introduce her to the WWE universe who may not know her would be at the Rumble.
Okay.
It's a way to get her feet wet, a way to not have so much attention on her right away, but a way for her to have some cool spots, and also to work with a lot of legends that know her very well.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So I can see that. Another one is a former guest of Straight Talk Wrestling, a young lady I'm all over with, a young lady who was a former ROH champion until just a couple of weeks ago. WWE's had their eye on her. And I feel like Roxy could be making her WWE debut and eventually be signed. And I feel like she's in that wheelhouse of where they want to keep their women's division currently right now. So I feel like Roxy would be a great addition. I don't know if she would go right to the main roster or if she would go to NXT. I feel like she's ready for the main roster, but WWE sees things differently than I do. I don't work for the company, so but I see those two. There's a couple surprising entrants. Deonna Purrazzo I'd like to throw out there, and if I could, I'd like to throw out another like OG name. I feel like whenever Lita rides, she doesn't really ride solo.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
I feel like we may see somebody who just brings a whole lot of satisfaction to the table. I think Trish Stratus will show up. Her and Charlotte Flair have history from SummerSlam. And she's been throwing a lot of shade at Charlotte Flair in her promos against Lita. So I feel like Trish Stratus could show up again. I could be wrong, but that's what I feel as true blue Canadian, true red, blue Canadians, if you want to, whatever you want to call it. The true North, we stand with Trish Stratus. So I feel like Trish Stratus could show up and definitely get some OG. But if I could throw out one more name from the Impact roster, who I feel like doesn't really get a fair shake, but I feel like she's great. I'd have to say Tasha Steele. Tasha Steele, I think could really, considering she won that Ultimate X Championship, I feel like if she was to walk through the door, I think that would be cool. And there's also speculation. I mean, again, if you're talking about the AEW roster, just to throw it again, I don't know where the conversations lie. I would love to see Britt Baker. I would. I don't know if we will, but I would love to see Britt Baker. And I'd also like to see Thunder Rosa walk through the curtain.
I was thinking Thunder Rosa, exactly.
Great representation of an AEW women's roster that has worked hard to kind of build the game up from the early days to where it is now. It's one of the premier divisions over in AEW for sure, in my opinion. But I'm also very pro women's wrestling, being a girl dad. I like my daughters to have heroes, other than their father, of course. You always want to have somebody to look up to. But dad is always number one.
Number one.
Absolutely.
Number one in our hearts.
Dads and daughters, man. Like this.
I love my dad.
See? There you go. So what's that?
I'm definitely a daddy's girl. Like, that's for sure.
And so's the mini host. She acts tough, but she's daddy's girl. When she's sick, she still snuggles with me. Okay. At 12. I sold you out. The whole world knows. But that's my thoughts. Now, before I give you my final four and force a decision upon thee. Who do you see walking through that forbidden door?
I definitely think Trish Stratus will make an appearance just for old time's sake. We have Lita. I mean, like, I think they're like a combo deal. I would love to see Bianca Corelli, given all the variables that we've detected and, you know,
I've been connecting
the red string.
I've been connecting the red string.
So I think that would be really cool. But like, again, like with the men's Royal Rumble, I'm just excited. And like, because we haven't had as many female Royal Rumbles as we had male Royal Rumbles, this one is like, they're always super special because we get to see a lot of talent that we haven't seen in a really long time, because there hasn't been a spot or a need to have some of these female.
That's right. And they've been cleaning house a lot. So there's a lot of open spots for returning legends. Also people coming back from possible injuries. Possible call-ups from NXT. There probably is quite a bit from NXT, or a handful of ladies. They released quite a bit, but there's definitely a few there that they might be interested in calling up. I'm not sure. We didn't even really talk about NXT and the men's side of things. The only one I would really bring up would be Steiner's Kid. That's my honest opinion. Steiner's Kid is like a beast.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He's a beast mode. Rick Steiner's Kid is a beast. No, I just wish he would come out with the headgear. That would just but he doesn't do what his dad did. That's okay though. I mean, you know,
he wants to forge his own path. It's okay.
Definitely doesn't do what his uncle did. Leave it at that. But yes, so back to the women's Rumble. So you know, the Rumble is great because even though you want to speculate and you want to predict and expect the unexpected, you really can't. Everything we've talked about, you can literally throw out the window because it could all be bullshit. And of course, it's just two wrestling fans giving our thoughts. That's all we're doing. Easy on the keyboards, guys. Easy.
So who would be your final four for the women's?
Okay. So this is the way I see it playing out. We talked about Becky Lynch and Dewdrop. You said you're going for Dewdrop. I said I just don't see Becky Lynch dropping it this quickly.
Right. Yes.
Final four.
Okay.
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Lita.
Okay.
Liv Morgan.
Okay.
Mickie James.
Ooh.
The only reason I say that is because you're not going to bring over another champion to have her be embarrassed.
No, absolutely.
I feel like Mickie James will come in somewhere in the 20 to 30 number.
Okay.
I feel like she'll end up in the final four and to be released, leaving Charlotte Flair, Lita,
Liv Morgan.
Thank you. And I feel like this is a build from what day one was.
Okay.
So this is the way I see this playing out.
Okay.
Lita eliminates Mickie James.
Okay.
Kind of a tip to the hat because they were in that same era at the same time. I respect you. I love you, but get the fuck out of here. This is mine to win or lose.
Kick rocks.
At that point, Liv Morgan kind of gets brushed to the side, dusted a little bit, maybe beaten by both of them. And then they're kind of smack talking a little bit back and forth.
Okay.
Somehow either Liv Morgan eliminates both of them or Lita eliminates Charlotte Flair after a very good back and forth situation, a very good, counter for counter, chain wrestle, punch for punch type deal. And then while she's down there gloating, Liv Morgan launches Lita over the top.
Because they forget about her.
Therefore leaving Liv Morgan to get a straight shot to WrestleMania to go at Becky Lynch, winning the title at that point. Because I feel like she showed sparkles of what she could do, so the fans may be reinvested in that storyline. And then I see Charlotte Flair and Lita fighting on the outside, being a straight shot to WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair versus Lita.
Yeah. Okay.
Because think about it, it's a logical choice. And it's not fair for Lita to win it, because I don't think that's right. I think the storyline could be set up another way. Charlotte Flair gets tossed over the top by Lita, sets up WrestleMania.
And sets them up solo.
Sets them up completely.
Yeah.
Mickie James ending up in the final four is a little tip of the hat to Impact.
Yeah.
Tip of the hat to Mickie James in her career. She goes off to represent the Impact division, holding her head high that she finished final four.
Yeah. That's a respect. Yeah.
Liv Morgan finally gets the whole universe on her side. Everyone invested in this underdog story of a girl that wasn't supposed to be there.
Super underdog. Oh man.
And we get Lita going at Charlotte Flair. And I think Charlotte Flair, if I can make an early WrestleMania prediction, Charlotte Flair drops the title because she vanquished Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell she's going to vanquish Lita as well.
No.
And Lita is, don't get me wrong, Trish Stratus was ring ready. She was in ring shape.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Absolutely phenomenal.
She looked amazing.
The match was subpar, but it was still great. Great being a Canadian, being there in the audience was great to see her for sure. But I don't see her vanquishing both legends.
No.
One out of two.
No.
Yes, but not both.
And Lita was my girl, man. Like, she's the reason why I wanted to learn how to do moonsaults, and I got into like lucha libre. Like, she was the person who really sparked that. Yeah, man. Oh my god. And then she's the one who started the thong, showing the thong, right? Like, come on, she did a lot of firsts.
As a 13-year-old boy, I definitely appreciated that. That's for sure. 150%.
But yeah. Oh man. Right. Can somebody tell Vince or somebody to like call this guy, because this would get me invested in watching wrestling again. Honestly,
it's fun to dream. It is fun to dream. Whether the realization will happen, I'm not 100% sure, but it is fun to dream.
Maybe not WWE, but somewhere where your talents will be utilized and appreciated for what they are.
Let me know your thoughts and opinions.
Let
us know what you think. But are you want to say when against me? Do you see this playing out this way? This is the way I'm calling it. This is my prediction.
Again. Like I can feel my heart, like just like, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that is such a great story. Because you're right, she is a person that nobody would have ever expected to like be now in a main event at WrestleMania, like for a title. It's crazy.
Almost like, put it this way. I look at it this way. I could see Liv Morgan, if she wins a Rumble, cutting a promo. Maybe sitting on the stairs, and maybe they got her in like a gym setup, obviously in the back of the arena somewhere. It's not gonna be an actual gym. In the back of the arena, and she's kind of sitting there, maybe on the workout bench. She got the towel on. They got like the sweat dripping. They do the slow, like smoky sweat dripping.
Yeah.
And then she's like, like kind of like a GSP thing when GSP lost the title,
or
when he faced Matt Serra, and he's like, I wasn't prepared. Matt Serra was my idol, right? I'm going way back. Matt Serra was my idol. I wasn't prepared. I didn't look at him in the icon, and he would show Liv Morgan. She had glimmers of what she could have done, but not achieving it. Yeah. Now she's been in the ring with Becky Lynch. Now she knows how Becky Lynch moves, how Becky Lynch thinks. She knows all the stuff. So now it's like, count me out.
Yeah.
Disrespect me.
Yeah.
Deny me. The fact is, I'm here. I'm going to lay it all out on the line. Yeah. And she does. And we get not so much Bianca Belair moment, because that was a great
That
moment.
was a
But
really good
Liv
moment.
Morgan
Yeah.
gets to have her moment, and rightfully so, be in the top of the mountain for a little bit, and hopefully she can run with it. But the promos that I've seen leading up to day one and after day one have been great. The way they've been kind of dissecting and building and characterizing this, and like I said, I think her shot should have been way sooner than this.
Yeah.
But I understand the slow build, then the stall for a little bit, because maybe she wasn't ready, or maybe she had backstage heat. I'm not sure. I'm not speculating. I'm just throwing it out there, because usually runs get stopped with backstage heat.
Yeah. Anything could have happened.
Well,
Anything's a possibility.
Big Cass, enough said, right? Don't kick the midget. Kick the midget. Got fired. So it happens. So all I'm saying is that you can reignite the flame.
Yeah.
Slowly turn it up. And
yeah.
And it's an all out. And all of a sudden, you know, 1 million people, or however big the universe is, there's a lot of closet wrestling fans who like to mock wrestling fans, but they're out there. They enjoy it. They enjoy it for what it is, entertainment. Yeah. All of a sudden they're all invested.
Yeah.
All of a sudden Liv Morgan's shirt sales pick up. It's kind of to quote our other former host, the house always wins.
Oh yeah.
We did a phenomenal episode. It was credit to Steve on that one. Phenomenal episode called The House, where we talked about literally the backstage politics and how it plays into wrestling. And it was a great episode. We dissected it. We went through statistics on shirt sales and popularity.
Yeah, that was a really good
he took a really deep dive into it. The conspiracy theories were running wild out there. Took a deep dive. But the fact is that you can dream big, and you can get that ultimate underdog story, because no matter what, if you think about it, all your favorite movies, Star Wars.
It's
Luke Skywalker was never supposed to be a Jedi. He was not supposed to be there. He struggled. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it clicked, and he's like the greatest Jedi that ever happened. It's that ultimate underdog, right?
Yep. It's true.
Rambo. He just wanted to walk through the town, buy some smokes. Ended up killing 4 cops. Who knew? Obviously he did.
He did.
You know, Christopher Walken, Deer Hunter. He wasn't supposed to live through that many matches of Russian roulette, but he did.
Christopher Walken's life, side note, is quite interesting. If you've dived into is it Natalie Wood? Yeah, I think it is Natalie Wood. Sorry, side note, but
best Christopher Walken line of all time. One of my favorite movies, independent film, great film called Pool Hall Junkies.
Okay.
Sequence between him and Chaz Palminteri. Chaz Palminteri plays the bad booker with Ricky Schroeder.
Of course.
And Christopher Walken plays the good bookie with the actor / director whose name I can't remember.
Okay.
But he looked like Ben Affleck, but Ben Affleck before Ben Affleck did drugs. I could throw that out there.
Interesting.
If you watch the cover, you know. But he was a horrible actor, but a great director, but a very bad actor.
Interesting.
And again, when you put yourself as the lead role, not right. Not nice.
Yeah. choose a side, buddy. Choose a side of the camera,
you know,
right?
Last Crusade, choose wisely. And he did not. But it was still a great movie. But Christopher Walken standing there, and Chaz Palminteri is like, all right, you want to shoot it all? You want to shoot it all? Shit. Race to 80 grand. I say your boy chokes. And Christopher Walken goes, 80 grand? Why don't you put that ring down? I'll put your shoes down. Go ahead, take it. Listen, you shoot 80 grand, I lose 80 grand, I get another 80 grand. But you lose 80 grand. You lose everything.
Oh shit.
I want to leave you with nothing. And I'm just like, fuck, Christopher Walken, I love you, bro.
I'm coming for it all, man. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Wide eyes and shit.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken.
He's amazing. I love him.
Saturday Night Live. Jimmy, what's up? Potato. Let's call the whole thing off.
We need more cowbell.
Guys, we all put our pets on one leg at a time. The only difference is when I put them on, I make gold records. That's enough Christopher Walken. But that's my point, guys, is that with these kind of prediction shows, they can be fun, they can be lighthearted. Yeah. You could dream big. Michelle, shout out your socials for the world. You're not very active on social, but shout out anyways.
But you can find me at Michelle Arujo _ on Insta. That's usually where I'm at. I'm not really on Twitter.
Every once in a while, we get a picture of her like this, with her like one raised eyebrow. Do the post. Come on, do the post.
I can't do it on command, George. Not on camera.
Do the post. I'm like, well, you take selfies of yourself all the time. That or like the
let's do it like
or like the mirrored selfie. Or if you go to the Straight Talk Facebook page, you can see Michelle modeling my merchandise in a very thirst trap photo that she took for me, which I appreciate.
Those are always the best ones, right? The thirst traps.
Absolutely. We're working on getting some more merch. Maybe I'll just have her in a photo with just a hat.
Oh, that'd be sick. Actually, I did that for somebody else, actually, like a long time ago.
Yeah, well, now you're gonna do it for me. Yeah. It'll be better. Right. It's gonna happen.
Sick.
Look out for it soon. One of these.
Sideways?
No, I don't know. We'll have to tilted down, like puffy lips or something. I don't know how to figure it out.
We got to get the logistics worked.
We got to get the logistics.
We'll get it.
And the theory, like the way to position the legs and stuff, how to figure it all out, how to work it all out. We'll have to figure it out. But anyways, so is that everything? Is that Twitter as well? Everything's the same?
Yeah, I really don't use Twitter. So yeah, Instagram, Michelle, and then it's ARAUJO__. Holla at your girl.
And guys, this is one of my besties, so please be respectful.
Come on.
Don't hit her up and say, I saw you on Straight Talk, and yes. Okay, please.
Be more creative.
I don't want but I don't want to be affiliated with the creepers.
No. I will say it's fine about the creepers, whatever. There's people, that's cool. But no dick pics. Because I've gotten some of those, and those, I don't know what guy thinks like, I'm gonna take a picture of my junk and send it. Like, it's not cute. And second of all, if
this
you're
just
gonna
segued way away from wrestling predictions.
If you're gonna slide into my DMs, please come correct with grammar and like know how to spell and like know your contractions. Like, please.
And talk about how great my predictions were, because that'll get you in the door too. Horrible. Hurt my feelings. All right, guys, you already know the socials, but I'm a glutton for self-promotion, and I do this by myself. So, Straight Talk Wrestling on Instagram, Facebook, and if you're watching on YouTube, Straight Talk Wrestling, hit that subscribe button. When this drops, we'll be 4 away from 450, which is a pretty awesome goal. We wanted to hit that by the end of January. We've got a few days left to do it. It'll be awesome to get those final 4 subscribers to get to 450, and then we go beyond that. But please do that, and also if you're going to follow us on Twitter, it's @_Straight Talk. Link trees listed everywhere. You can get all the socials there, all the links to the podcast everywhere, the merch, support. I don't have a sponsor. I do this free solo, put a lot of time and energy into this. So anything you buy goes right back into the show for better equipment, sick merchandise, and Michelle drops by for free because I have good coffee. That's
the best coffee. Yeah.
It's really good.
I gotta get I make the instant at home. He doesn't have that, so they're living good over here.
Yeah. We're living $1 million lifestyle here. We buy the blue collared coffee. We're a step up above the instant. That's how good our coffee is. Anyways, guys, peace, love, and wrestling. Enjoy Royal Rumble. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your opinions. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you agreed with in my predictions, our predictions, what you did. But at the end of the day, it's all love. Just enjoy Royal Rumble because it is a great time of the year, and it is that straight shot on the road to WrestleMania. Peace, love, and wrestling. See you next time.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my